Jeannie and let's get Zebra strong. So today we're talking about elbows and hyperextension at the elbow joint and the implications of hyperextending our elbows. So many of us, if you're hypermobile, do have this hyperextending elbow, and it's not just about the elbow joint. So first of all, when you lock a joint, so either your knees or your elbows, the muscles around that joint no longer have the opportunity to work. So you literally are really putting a lot of strain through the joints, which isn't great. Obviously will lead to wear and tear earlier than we would like. So, from a mechanical point of view, we really don't want to be locking our joints. Easier said than done, I know. I'm constantly watching my joints to make sure they don't lock. So I know how difficult it can be, but through training, it does get easier and easier. The other thing about locking the joints is if you watch what happens to my shoulder when I lock my joint, can you see how the shoulder is pulled forward? So it puts my shoulder and maybe, up into my neck in a not so perfect position. So if I soften the elbow, the shoulder drops down. If I lock the elbow, the shoulder is naturally pulled forward. So another reason, if we want to have good head, neck, shoulder organisation, we want to have soft elbow joints. And of course, locking of the elbows is going to put a lot of tension through the forearm, can cause implications for the hands and the wrists. So what does that look like if we're weight bearing? If I come onto my hands and knees, typically what we see is this. So you can see the hyperextension in the joints, my wrists are being severely compressed, and you can see my shoulders are not in a great position. And because of that, my upper spine, my thoracic spine, has sunk between the shoulder blades. Now, if I was in a class or I was exercising at home like you, I would feel really, really vulnerable now if I was asked to do any kind of weight-bearing activity like sliding one leg away, lifting it up, even, considering doing something like a plank. So I don't feel particularly strong or connected, which makes me vulnerable to injury. So we don't want that. So how do I stop this? Start with your hands. So we want to really make connection into the ground. So I like to put the weight into the outer edges of my hands. So I've already got a bit of external rotation of the bones. So the shoulders and the arms are spiraling backwards. When I lock, everything comes forward. We don't want that. We want to spiral out so that we start to feel some connection through the upper back body. That's where the power is to hold you up so that you don't feel you're collapsing down. You're actually lifting yourself up away from the floor, which feels really, really good, and you feel really strong, as opposed to feeling a bit vulnerable and collapsed. So there's a spiraling that lifts us up. Now my joints are soft. Okay, if I was asked to slide one leg away and lift it up, for example, I feel much happier about doing that. And my joints are protected. I'm using my muscles instead of hanging off the joint. And so I'm going to get stronger and, get hopefully less injuries in my soft tissue. And the other thing to look, which I've noticed a lot over the years of working with the hypermobile community, is that pattern shows up when we go to lift something up. So oftentimes I'll ask someone to raise their arm, and instead of using those muscles we were just talking about to raise their arm, the first instinct is to go from here. So we lift like this. And then again, if you're carrying something, you've locked your joint. That's a lot of strain going through that elbow joint. And then we could end up with a tendonitis, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow type injury. So any kind of lifting action or reaching action, we want to be coming from the back of the body so that these joints are never put in that position of taking load or strain. So I hope that answers, some of the questions about implications of elbow joints. Please feel free to leave me a question in the comments below, but I hope that was useful. So thank you for watching,